Hey, Field.
Yes.
I just wanted you to know that I'm really sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm really.
Come on, man. Is this 2020 all over again?
This is cabin fever.
Dear Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking area. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Horror 7. The nightmare is real. I'm pausing for the laughter. Each episode, we highlight a horror movie that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. It could be because they fell asleep in the theater and now Freddy is coming for them. Perhaps they listened to some audio tapes in the basement of an insane asylum. Maybe audiences were too busy coughing up blood from that crazy cabin fever. We talk about what we like and don't like about the film, but we always recommend you suck the life force out of another human. Wait, no, that's not what I mean. And that you revisit the movie. Yes, revisit the movie. That's it. You never know. You might find your own forgotten horror gem. If you haven't been shoved up into your gigantic zombie mother's womb, we want to hear from you. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. We always let the right one in. So let's get spooky. What's up?
All right. Nothing much. I just, as we're recording this, because we record ahead, it's the end of the summer. And so I took a bunch of my friends out to a cabin in the middle of the woods in some
sounds like Cabin in the Woods. No, we already did that.
Oh, we already did that one. Oh, it sounds like Evil Dead. Oh, no, it's not that one either. We're out there. We're having a good time. Some random dweeb comes up with a killer dog and wants to smoke some kush with us. Right. And then all of a sudden, everyone's getting sick. Everyone's coughing up blood and shooting squirrels and getting threatened by the yokels and getting bit by kids. And it was a terrible movie. I mean, a terrible time.
Uh-oh. That's right. We're doing Cabin Fever, the 2002 version, not the remake, not the prequel, and not the other prequel or the other sequel. Well, there was another. I actually watched all the trailers.
Nice.
I watched Cabin Fever, Spring Fever, which is actually directed by Ty West.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I know it's written by the co-writer of this one.
Yeah. And then I saw the trailer for Cabin Fever Patient Zero, which is a prequel that takes place at a prom. Oh, that looked really... all right. So anyways, let's get into it so we can get into our discussion, because I think it's going to be interesting. Very interesting. As Mike alluded to. Cabin Fever has a runtime of 93 minutes. Rated R. Production budget of $1.5 million. That's something I think we both can appreciate.
Yep.
Came out on Friday, September 12th, 2003, but it premiered at a festival a year earlier, 2002.
It got a lot of hype because of that festival.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, we can't wait to see it. And then they got what they got.
Opening weekend it did 8.4 million. Its domestic take was 21 million. Its international take was 9 million, and it's for a worldwide total of $30 million. So not bad for 1.5 million.
Yeah, you cannot beat that.
And I mean, I could say this later, but I'll tell you now. It was in a huge bidding war. Initially 8 studios passed on the script, or passed on it because they just didn't want to do it. And then when they made the movie, it got into a huge bidding war, and Lionsgate, which didn't pass on the script because Lionsgate wasn't around at that point, paid $3.5 million for the movie to distribute it. So yeah, so he was already Eric Roth, right? Yeah, Eli Roth, excuse me, apologies.
He was already in the black right after.
Pretty much, a little bit. I mean, probably better than anything.
Yeah.
This film has many production companies: Tonic Films, Down Home Entertainment, Black Sky Entertainment, Deer Path Films, Cabin Pictures, and then Tall Pines Entertainment. And then obviously, like I just said, it was distributed by Lionsgate. So came out on the 12th, 2003. Let's go back to September 5th, which you had a wide release of Dickie Roberts, former child star, the David Spade film. The Order. Did you see The Order?
Which one's The Order?
Heath Ledger. He's a priest. Mark. It was like basically almost everyone that was in. What's the name of the movie with the knights?
First, no, A Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale,
yeah. I know I saw The Order and I remember liking it, but all I can remember are like very little snippets.
Yeah.
But I think it was very early 2000s. I also remember kind of liking this movie.
Yeah. So with The Order, I remember liking the premise and I watched it. And I don't think I was like loved it. I think I was just like, it was okay. It was one of those. But,
right.
Yeah. Anyways, you also had a limited release of Homeroom and Hope Springs that week. This week, when Cabin Fever came out, it went up against Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Matchstick Men.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico, we did on the Pint podcast.
Did we do I don't know. I thought we did Desperado. Did we do Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
We did Once Upon a Time. We didn't do Desperado.
Okay.
We did it. It was for this podcast. It was for this podcast.
Okay. It was for this one?
Yeah.
We did it for this one?
We did Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
No, we did not. I don't know if we did it for this one.
We have been on a podcast that covered Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
You had also a limited release this week of No Good Deed, Lost in Translation, and Dummy. I know I saw Dummy in the theaters.
I think I only saw Lost in Translation of that.
Dummy's what you think it is. It's about a ventriloquist. What's his face? Adrian
Brody?
Yes. No. Yeah. Who won the Oscar for the piano?
Adrian
Brody. Yeah. He plays a ventriloquist. Man, I'm like bad with names right now.
You're me.
I know. The week after, the 19th of September, you had Secondhand Lions, Underworld, and Cold Creek Manor. And then actually The Fighting Temptations and Anything Else is a big, wide release weekend.
I was going to say, I've seen a bunch of those.
Yeah, and you had a limited release of Bubba Hotep, which I have also seen. This film was directed by Eli Roth. Like I said before, he's done Thanksgiving, The Green Inferno, The House with the Clock in its Walls.
A movie we did on Forgotten Horror, like 4 Forgotten Horrors ago.
4 Forgotten Horrors ago? I think it was Forgotten Horror 4.
Was it?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. He also has a story credit. He also wrote the film along with Randy Perlstein, but Randy Perlstein was his roommate in college. So the credit is for he kind of showed it to him while he was writing it. And this is the note I have. And he asked Perlstein to kind of like flesh it out. But that was kind of like his only
contribution.
Yes. So it's basically written by Eli Roth, who's done Hostel, which is something he directed. The Man with the Iron Fists, which he did not direct, and Borderlands, which I believe he did direct. Yeah.
He directed, and then when it went to reshoots, somebody else took over because he had to go do Thanksgiving. But secretly, everyone was saying it's because his first cut was not good.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
But who knows what the truth is.
Yeah. Thanksgiving was all right. I mean, it was okay. Cinematographer was Scott Kevon, did Hellride, Underworld Awakening, and a lot of episodes of the TV show Walking Dead. Composer was 2 composers, Angelo Badalamenti and Nathan Barr. Badalamenti has done Mulholland Drive and mostly David Lynch films. He's also done Stalingrad, which is a foreign film. Nathan Barr has done the TV show True Blood. He did the Salem's Lot 2024 version. And the movie The Beanie Bubble, edited by Ryan Folsey, who's done Renfield, When in Rome, and Club Dread. Produced by Evan Ostrowski, Scott Froelich, Eli Roth, and Lauren Vilchik. Ostrowski's done Fanboys and Lazarus Project. Froelich has done Above Suspicion. Roth has produced, these are movies that he did not direct, The Last Exorcism, The Sacrament, and Let the Devil In. And Vilchik has done Borderlands. Not a big cast, obviously, as you might expect. Well, not a big named cast. I mean, there are a lot of other people in it, but they're just kind of local actors.
Right. Yeah.
Ryder Strong is our lead as Paul from the TV show Boy Meets World. And he's also in this. He's the voice in the TV show Star versus the Forces of Evil. He's in a lot of little, one-off television appearances, and Boy Meets World is his big, obviously. Yep. Big show. Jordan Ladd is Karen, the girl that is his friend that doesn't realize that he likes her for some stupid reason. She's in Never Been Kissed, Waiting, and Death Proof. James DeBello as Bert the Stoner. That's pretty much what he is, right?
Stoner, I think he's actually like mentally handicapped. He's an idiot.
Oh man, Butler's coming with the hate. Detroit Rock City and Swim Fan. Serena Vincent is Marcy. She's the other girl in the movie that is kind of paired off with Jeff, who I'll introduce next. But Vincent's been in Not Another Teen Movie and the TV show Stuck in the Middle. And then Joey Kern as Jeff from TV show Good Behavior and the TV show Electric City. And then you have Ari Verveen as Henry. I think he's the guy in the beginning. He's the drifter in the beginning that they first encounter.
Oh, okay.
He's in the TV show Sons of Anarchy and Sin City. And then Giuseppe Andrews, who's the deputy, which I'll get into quite frequently here. He's in Pleasantville and Detroit Rock City. All right, Mike, why don't you tell our audience what you were telling me because we have just come from seeing The Conjuring: The Last Rites for a now showing episode, which I'm sure is out already, but we kind of did a little, field trip today. And we try not to discuss the films beforehand, so it's all fresh here. But Mike was kind of giving me the background a little bit. So why don't you tell me your story about how you watched it with Elise and all that stuff? Just give us a little.
So I constantly talk about how my girlfriend Elise she falls asleep constantly, just always can't sit through a movie, and we both had somewhat fond memories, but we didn't really remember a lot of this film. So she was kind of excited to rewatch it with me. So we watch it, and it was late. We got started late because she got home from work late.
They are late owls. They are night owls.
Well, I am. She is not. She passes out at, like I said, like usually like
get your sleep,
9 o'clock.
Good to get your sleep. Get your sleep.
We start the movie at probably 8:45. She stayed up the whole time because of how bad the movie was. Just discussing about what's wrong with the movie. She watched the whole movie like this. What? And that's pretty much my reaction as well. I was mostly laughing at her reactions, but yeah, it is not the movie that I remember. And it's just, I came off of watching Terrifier 1, 2, and 3 to prepare for Halloween Horror Nights, which by the time this is out, I've been to, because that's there. They're doing Art the Clown in the houses. And I talk about how like some day amateur directing styles and all that kind of stuff. And like the movie isn't edited right. The second one anyway, the second one's not edited correctly. And that movie, even all the foibles that I was like complaining about as I'm watching Cabin Fever, I'm just like, God, I would give anything to watch Terrifier right now. Like it is not the movie I remember. But again, it's like I'm watching this in high school. There aren't a lot of movies like this out that I have already seen. This is about, I think I've talked about like middle of high school is when I started my like horror journey, where it's like not just sci-fi horror, which I'd grown up with, but horror. Like I was watching all the Freddy films. I was watching all the Jason films. I was watching all the Halloween films. And so I remembered this movie being pretty decent. And it's every horror movie that Eli Roth ever watched. And he tries to cram it all into one movie, kind of like Cabin in the Woods, but just not well. And it's just, I don't know.
Well, this is a film discussion podcast, or show. Excuse me, I shouldn't say podcast. So we're gonna kind of dive into a little bit about
and always remember, I'm gonna crap on this film a lot. So I'm gonna talk about how bad this movie is and stuff like that. So I just want to preface with the fact that everything is subjective. Opinions are subjective.
If you love this movie, you love this movie. That's great. That's good for you. And I mean, I can understand why people would like this film. I do, because it does have those tropes that you talk about.
It's got a little bit of everything from a cabin horror movie.
Right. And, I think we all have our preferences in genres on whole, but we also have our preferences within the genre. I talk about on the show that within horror, like I just want, like we were talking about elevated horror, how it's a big thing. It's been a big thing
during the trailers.
Horror takes it way too sometimes horror takes itself way too seriously. And like I want like a slasher movie. That's kind of like my thing. I'm not big on the zombies. It doesn't mean I won't watch them, but I'm just not big. So there's things that we just can't connect with. Yeah. So and I'm this episode is going to be interesting for me because I'm always fascinated with why don't we like things? Like why it doesn't work? Why didn't it work for us? So, and I kind of think I have an idea. So let's get into that. But the first thing I want to ask you is, screw it. I'm going to tell you what
go for
my first reaction to kind of where
you have not seen it. You had not seen it before at all.
I had avoided this film because I just didn't find it interesting. I just wasn't into it. It might have been, and again, when you're watching certain things, especially with horror with me, it ebbs and flows in terms of like when I'm into it. Like I'll go on a run and I'll just start watching horror films or something like that. Right. And I always and I'm always gonna be more interested in the story side of horror because obviously I'm a writer, so I that kind of what attracts me. So like the Conjuring stuff that we've been doing has been interesting because it's the story elements and stuff like that.
It's definitely a more story heavy horror film.
Right. Insidious, which I started watching, which I hadn't picked up on. I kind of was into because there is other stuff there. It's not just like. Well, I just said I love slasher films. It's not just that. But I think I avoided Cabin Fever because of that. It didn't thrill me. I saw the trailer. Just like, I'm not really into that right now. And then it's one of those movies you don't really ever go back to. And then I saw that they remade it like 9 years ago. I
hadn't seen, but I had heard that it's pretty much like Eli Roth, just like it's the same movie, but I'm correcting some stuff.
It's a remake of his script.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't need the guy doing like basically the Psycho remake
Yeah.
8 years after he did the original film.
Right.
I don't get the point of that.
So my first thing that I want to talk about is, I don't know what you think of this, but there is nobody in this film I root for. No, nobody in this film is a good person.
They all suck. None of them make good choices. None of them make intelligent choices. I think we're supposed to root for Ryder Strong's character based on the fact Paul, because he's Ryder Strong.
But then Paul takes a turn.
Paul just snaps for no reason. Then the way is he trying to solve it? Is it the sickness making him do these things? The choices they make no sense.
Yeah.
And we're not really set up with any, I mean, I guess, and again, the movie doesn't really do a good job introducing names, and I'm terrible with names.
I'll tell you who it is right now.
Marcy. Marcy is probably the only normal person in that group.
Though she is, but then
Bert's a psycho and possibly mentally handicapped. I believe mentally handicapped the way he's playing him. Marcy is kind of normal. Karen is a hoe. Which Paul doesn't understand.
Yeah, Karen's Paul's the one that Paul likes.
Yeah, but Karen's a hoe.
Yeah, but
Bert's an idiot. Jeff's a douchebag, and Marcy's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, but Marcy,
that she's great.
Yeah, I know, because she ends up hooking up with Paul, which I guess there's the deleted scene. That there were some deleted scenes within the movie that have brought Marcy and Paul closer together throughout as they kept going. And then so that moment when she's like, she kind of basically proposes to sleep with him, and then they do it. It's not so sudden like it is in the film that we watched.
Yeah, because they also have the scene before then where they're sleeping together in the cot together.
Yes,
and I was like, I thought we were sleeping apart. I figured we missed something there because I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, like, there's nobody in this film that I can root for at all. Everyone is not a good person. Everyone is a jerk. Yeah. Or everyone some level of scheme. Like when we first find out Karen is sick, when she's sleeping and he rolls over and he just basically starts touching her.
He's molesting her.
Like, that's sexual assault, pal. So. And I don't want to and I don't know if it's indicative of that this was written while Eli Roth was in college. And,
I think that's a big, when I was watching, I was like, this is a college, guys.
But that's the thing too. But a lot of early Eli Roth stuff is so, the characters are not likable, and it's only, and I was shocked when he did House with a Clock in its Walls. That is great. It's a really good film. That's so much heart. Yeah. And even with Thanksgiving is kind of like a slasher film, but there is somebody to root for in that. There is like some heroines and heroes.
Sure.
So, but like this film just had it's like an someone early in his filmmaking career who just doesn't think anybody's worth saving, and just everyone deserves the worst, because obviously it ends like apocalyptic.
So you know what that reminds me of in a worse way is like early James Gunn. Early James Gunn stuff is all like everyone sucks, like Slither. There's no Nathan Fillion's kind of the hero, but even they're all kind of like skeevy. Mm-hmm. There's really no you don't feel bad for anyone who gets killed in Slither,
right?
And that's early, and James Gunn admits, and that's how he got in trouble with all his early tweets, because he's just an angry chip on his shoulder filmmaker, and
that's fine. I get that. That's that process. That's that maturation of a storyteller and of a filmmaker. When you first start out, I wrote a script one time called "It's Only Murder," and in that script, everybody is just the whole premise of the script is that these kids just start killing because they just don't want to get caught. And they don't have any kind of
control.
Right. They're just like, we gotta kill him. And then obviously when I look back on it, and I think it was after a year from the script, was no, these people suck. I did, you know what I mean?
If you did that in a little bit of a tongue in cheek way though, I kind of interested in reading that script, because I think that sounds funny.
Well, it ends in a bloodbath. Well, basically what ends up happening, not that I'll tell you the script. What ends up happening is these kids keep killing people because they just don't want, they get in trouble. But what ends up there simultaneously as they're doing that, there's a serial killer that's stalking people during the same time, and it ends at a house where there's this party happening, and the serial killer is there, and they're there, and they're trying to get out, and then the serial killer gets blamed for all the other murders, and they get away, and stuff like that. So yeah.
I kind of like that.
I'll show. It's an old script. It's so old that I don't have a digital copy. It's in the basement over here. If I can find it, I'll let you take it.
It's on a floppy, bro.
But it's it's 22, 21-year-old Mike writing it, so don't judge me. Anyways, let's get back to this. The characters is one thing. I for an out of the way cabin that they're going to. you know, like they go to this cabin like far off into the woods, which I don't know why anyone would want to do this,
especially college kids.
But there's that point where they're just like, they start venturing off, and they keep running into people in other houses and populated areas.
It seems like it's so far away, and they keep hitting houses. Yeah. And the whole farm. The lady had a whole pig farm. It's like, where was that?
The pig farm, and then she's like, I can't.
Well, I guess it's not a pig farm because she's buying the pigs to slaughter. Yeah, but she's clearly on a farm.
When he goes to the house, Paul goes to the house, and the naked woman's in there, and the husband's shoes
owner
off.
Clearly already knows he's out there. Like he's waiting, honey, go and entice this boy so I can do my shotgun thing.
Right.
It's like that's the role.
And then
they're so high.
And then they're after the house that Bert and Bert and Jeff go when they see the pig farmer. They're in another house and nobody's in the house and just
there's
food.
The empty house.
Who's that house? They just walk into that house.
They don't know whose house that is. Although that could have been the old hermit's house. Maybe he wasn't a hermit. They're calling him a hermit. Right. It doesn't necessarily mean he is. Right. And that could have been a deleted scene. That could have been his house.
So like that was a little weird. And then and you talk about this all the time with rules in the world. The whole rules of the
sickness and how it spreads. Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't tell you.
Is it blood? Is it coughing up blood? Is it the rash? Is it skin pustules? The way they act is kind of strange. Like, I just don't understand what the fact that both the guy at the beginning, the hermit guy, and then Paul,
right,
both are like, oh, can you help me? And have this thing where they want to, it's almost like they want to stumble on somebody. Right. They want to get the other person sick as if the sickness is controlling them, but it's never really discussed or like shown. And I
don't even think that's in the back of anyone's head.
Yeah. The rules are, whatever can make this sickness seem like a zombie movie or a haunting movie at the same time.
Well, it's based,
which is kind of interesting.
It's based on Eli Roth got this idea. I don't know if you read this note where he was working on a farm in Iceland, and he got a skin rash from that working with the hay. And
I did read this before.
It would do the same kind of effects that you were seeing in the movie, because this is basically a flesh-eating virus. That's what it is. And his skin was peeling off when he would shave and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, I get that. That's interesting. Did you see the note that the sound mixer actually had this disease?
No.
Yeah. So let me find
while they were filming.
No.
Oh, okay.
like let's see.
Cursed.
I have this note. Hold on. Mike, where is it? All right. Sound mixer John Neff survived a real flesh-eating bacteria. He really had it. I guess he got it in a hospital after minor surgery, but it takes 2 weeks of nonstop ICU medical care. It's a constant barrage of drugs that you're taking to just stem it off. And he maintains that the makeup in the film is 100% accurate. So
I could believe that. Yeah. It does look, and especially for the budget, it does look good. I'll give them that. Well,
that's the thing too. Like for one point, we always herald indie filmmaking. So I mean, that still goes here. $1.5 million. You take a bunch of your buddies. You get some names. You're going out into the woods. You shoot this thing. So the production of this movie, them putting together what they did with the effects and stuff like that, all works, and it
looks like a much more expensive film. It does.
I think my biggest and probably your biggest issue with the film is the script, is this just the character acting, the character work, just the plot, like all that stuff just falls apart. Like and so, but like the making of the film is impressive, and it can't knock that at all. No one should.
There's a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, that pig that she opens with the guts, the dead body they find in the lake, like that right there is a large amount of money. The cabin that they either built or rented out or found. Yeah. I imagine they had to have built at least the exterior because it looks so much like the Evil Dead cabin.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure.
Like there's a lot of homage there and stuff.
Cabin in the Woods is the trope that it's going off of is this trope of cabin fever where you have 5 people. 2 are the couple that's a sex crazed couple that are always hooking up.
Yep.
2 that are, they're kind of together, but they're not together. Oh, it's more love. Do I really like him? That kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then the one stoner idiot dude, right?
Yes.
So other than the cabin in the woods, Evil Dead
has that.
Okay.
And at least in Cabin in the Woods, the film, they predispose that it doesn't always have to be in a cabin. Like other countries are doing like The Ring.
No. I know that, but I'm saying that trope of the cabin of the 5 friends going away and stuff happening. Where else is that other than
the very first Friday the 13th?
Okay.
Maybe the second Friday the 13th. I think the second one as well. And then after that, it's just kind of like, does it take place in Crystal Lake? And city, right. But, a couple of the Friday the 13th, I think, is classic. And then, I mean, a lot of the other films, even if they don't take place in the camp, start to have that, especially with slashers.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's talk about pancakes.
Which one's pancakes?
You don't remember that when the kid Dennis yells pancakes?
Oh, Dennis. Yeah.
So that scene happens. We meet Dennis. He's sitting on like, his kids don't go near Dennis. He bites you, which doesn't make any sense. Why Paul would be like, hey, nice to meet you. Because just to get bit, regardless. That scene, he just yells pancakes, starts doing Taekwondo.
Well, that's when Bert.
Right. When Bert comes, Bert's sick.
That's
Bert
when he does
clearly
Taekwondo.
is sick. Bert clearly is, and the shopkeepers can see he's sick.
Yeah.
But his son just starts going crazy, bites him and then, he's like, you got my boys. Which was all that his whole thing is just so that they can get hunted down. Like, you know what I mean?
Which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, they had that shot when Marcy walks up to one of the house when she goes into the house and they're inside eating the beef jerky.
Right.
And she comes around and she walks up. That's exactly the Texas Chainsaw Massacre shot. Yeah. So they do that. And I know he said it's an influence, but back to pancakes. The reason why they do that scene, I guess, is because Eli Roth saw the kid practicing that during the breaks, and then he wrote it into the script. I just don't understand why what we're doing here.
I thought it was the dumbest thing. I still think it's the dumbest thing. But Elise thinks it's like a fever dream.
Well,
the Taekwondo part, like Dennis is coming up to him, biting him. Maybe. But the Taekwondo he's seeing is a fever dream because like the bunny rabbit guy, like that Paul.
He sees him at the end. Yes,
like, it's all kind of which is Shining.
Did you? Oh no! Did you notice that the bunny rabbit's feeding? Is feeding Dennis is laying down. Is feeding him pancakes.
Oh, is he feeding
Dennis in the bed? Yeah,
that's awesome. I did not notice that because I was paying attention to the bunny rabbit.
Well, so is everyone else.
But yeah, that's awesome. I do actually like that. But I think that it's like a fever dream. Like that's a hallucination.
Okay.
Or at least that was Elise's explaining it away. And I was like, all right. But also there's a lot of David Lynch influence. Like you talked about Badalamenti or whatever, however you say his last name, did the score and the scene when, and I know you want to get into Owens at some point, when Owens comes in, right? His name is Owens?
Who?
The deputy?
Deputy, not Owens. It's Winston.
Oh, Winston Owens. It's W. Owens.
Okay.
Yeah. When Winston comes up, like that score that plays while he's talking to Paul is straight up like every Goofy scene that's ever been in Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Like that's purposely played Goofy. They play it. So I know like Twin Peaks is obviously also a big influence. So that's probably Eli Roth going like, yeah, it doesn't have to have a reason. We can be weird. And that's why it's because it's like Twin Peaksy. So I was like, I mean, all right. I like that you try to reference Twin Peaks, but I don't think it works here. Because that's not the movie you're setting up. You're not setting up a Twin Peaks film. You're setting up an Evil Dead type story. You're setting up like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type story. But with the sickness.
Let's talk about Winston. He sucks.
They all suck.
Like I don't.
Winston's an idiot.
I just don't.
But so is Bert.
No, I know. I get it. But like I just.
Winston's there to be comic relief because I think Eli Roth probably thought it was funny. Like he's like a college student just doing things, but like, oh man, it's so funny. He's like a stoner. He's like he doesn't care. He's trying to pick up underage women.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. It's like his own character, Chad, or whatever the hell the guy's name is, with the killer dog.
Yeah. I didn't get that either. Like
it's just to throw himself in there. He's in there like 3 times.
He was gonna play Winston, and then when Giuseppe came in and did his audition, he liked it, so he's like, "Oh, it'd be good." So he was gonna play. Eli Roth was going to be Winston. So there's that. Peter Jackson loves this film.
Peter Jackson wrote Meet the Feebles and
Dead Alive.
Or
Brain Dead.
Brain Dead.
He stopped production 3 separate times when they were shooting Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, so they could screen the movie for the crew because he was really into this film.
Which was like,
which kind of makes sense when we talk about Brain Dead, and which was I think it was Brain Dead internationally and Dead Alive here. And then Meet the Feebles, which is messed up.
I really like. I don't know who would watch the episode, but I'd be really interested to do a Meet the Feebles episode. It'd be interesting.
You've seen it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it in college, like freshman year, sophomore year.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
It's awesome.
in an awesome way.
It's completely inappropriate. It's completely off the wall bonkers, but it's like,
and then
the fact that
guy he goes off.
The fact that the guy that did Lord of the Rings and some of the and produced the Hobbit, or he directed the Hobbit.
He ended up directing it.
Did he?
Yeah, because the other person dropped out, and then King Kong. But I'd be really interested to see Peter Jackson go back to horror.
He also did Heavenly Creatures. I mean, that was like he did that like after.
True. Yeah, I'd be. He also did. What's the one I hate?
I don't know. Oh, what the the Lovely Bones?
Lovely Bones. I hate
nobody likes that movie.
It's terrible. But I'd be really interested to see like his kind of like Brain Dead or Dead Alive, however you want to call it, depending on where you are. Is really fun in like an Evil Dead, like a New Zealand Evil Dead kind of way. But it's clearly like his filmmaking style is different now, and I feel like it would be a very interesting Guillermo del Toro. Oh, Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do The Hobbit and he dropped out. Guillermo del Toro meets Peter Jackson kind of horror movie. I think I'd be very interested to see Peter Jackson go back to horror, but now he's doing yet more Lord of the Rings films, so we'll never get that.
Yeah, no, I know. The bowling alley scene when he tells the story about the bowling alley.
Oh, the killers can be up.
Yeah. I know it's based on a true story that happened, I guess, where Eli Roth grew up or whatever, but I feel like that scene is in there just to give the movie length. You know what I mean? Like otherwise it's a 70-minute film. I think there's a lot of stuff in here that's put in there to give the movie length.
What's wrong with a 70-minute horror film?
Nothing.
Like 75 minutes is the length, or 74 minutes? 70-something minutes is the length of the original Evil Dead, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe 85. Pretty sure it's 70-something. And that's a fine length.
60, I believe 60 minutes is the cutoff now for feature. So you could do
a feature.
A 65-minute movie that's a feature. So I do need to say this because it really annoys me that no official reservoir would be abandoned. If there's a reservoir that is that people are drinking from,
right,
it's not going to be just left alone. It's a federal offense to mess with the water. Like, so you can't. So like the fact that this dude just falls into the reservoir and dies,
this man on fire.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, I get it. It's a horror movie, Michael. Shut up. I get it. I understand. But there's no way that this could happen. But I get it.
No, it would have made more sense for him to have fallen in the well and infect the kids.
Right.
And then they just infect
their
the
water
town.
would come from the well.
And then it ends with Paul infecting more people because he goes into that lake and then the kids at the camping area are drinking the water with cooler.
I don't know what, like the rationale for Paul when he comes upon the reservoir and he sees the guy floating to just
poke him with the stick.
What are you doing?
Listen,
what are you going to do?
The urge to poke. That's what I told Lisa. Lisa's like, why? I go, listen, the urge to poke something with a stick is strong.
If he didn't get it at any time before, he certainly got it when he fell on top of the dude.
Yeah, I got the urge to poke. Like, okay, that's an urge. You gotta scratch that itch. But then when he's forcing it to turn around, like turn over, you know what it is. It's a dead body. What do you think it's gonna see?
What do you need to look for?
You know what else bothers me with Paul? So, what's his face? His wannabe girlfriend.
Oh, Karen.
Karen's gets started to get eaten by the dog.
Yeah.
He sees her suffering
in the shed.
She's still alive, barely breathing.
Yep.
He grabs a shovel and beats the ever-loving crap out of her.
He just decides to kill her.
Kill her horribly.
Yes.
Slowly.
Yes.
You have a gun with bullets. You just used it to kill that dog.
Yeah.
You can't use it to put her out of her misery or suffocate her slowly.
When he started doing that was the moment I was just like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, what is this guy?
It's the foreshadowing, because you foreshadow that he's a pussy, but he's really not.
But he's not. But he kills everyone. But he's also very selfish too, because at the end of the film,
and he uses Bert as bait.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bert.
Yeah, but also at the end of
Bert deserves it. Bert's an ass.
But at the end of the film, when he's sick and he escapes the hospital, and like dude, like he has no sense. He doesn't care that.
None of them do. None of them care that they're infecting anybody. You have Bert, who's really big. Like, for some reason, he goes like from the dumbest person alive to like, to stay away from me. Nobody touch me. Nobody get me sick.
Yeah.
But yet he'll go clean that car with all the blood.
Yeah, I know.
And then himself get sick.
Yeah.
And then be like, let's go. I'm infected. I'm kind of sick. Yeah, whatever. Let's go. Let's go. Put her next to me then.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm Jeff, but I'm not staying around. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Like, I'm like, peace out, guys. I'll walk back. I'll walk back home. I'll walk back to some kind of. I'm out of here. Like, that would be
Jeff's choice to just stay in a like a cave.
Yeah.
For 3 days, drinking nothing but beer, which would dehydrate him, and Jeff would be dead. More than likely be dead. Maybe not. Maybe it would hydrate you just enough, but like I don't understand why wasn't he in a town? Clearly, everyone else reached a house or a town.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm Jeff. I would have left. I would have been like, peace out, guys.
I don't know if I would have left my friends, but I wouldn't have done it.
Are they really friends? Because they don't really treat each other like
no, they're
friends.
all they did. None of them do. Like I don't understand that. Like, but that's kind of like that's also kind of Evil Dead.
True.
Because Scott wants to leave both the women as soon as like they get sick with Evil Dead.
True.
Linda's ankle. Screw her, man. I'm leaving.
Peace out.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give you some reviews.
Give it. Yeah. Throw them on me.
I actually thought you would like this film, so I think I kind of got ones that
we're bad and agree with us.
And Hola Dargis of the LA Times. I probably butchered the name, and I apologize. Described the characters as, quote, stereotypical and, quote, monumentally irritating. Agreed. He also criticized the movie for the lack of scares and delivering more jokes and gore.
I would agree with that. I don't even, like, the effects are cool, but, like, the one scare I remember that I think everybody remembers is the shaving scene.
That's gross. But
it's not as gross as I remember because the razor comes up her leg, Marcy's leg, and the wound's already there. The razor isn't opening the wounds.
Right.
It's already there, and she seems to already know it's there. And she's just trying to be like, everything's normal, everything's fine, which is okay. I'm okay with the choice there. But I remember the skin slopping off.
Oh, really?
That's how Elise remembers it too.
Okay.
And I think that maybe it's because now that obviously I just watched the 3 Terrifier films, which are disgusting, but in a comical way. Not like Hostel where it's gross, but kind of realistic.
I've never seen Hostel.
It's probably tame now. I'd watch it, but like it's kind of gross.
But Hostel was part of that time when they were calling it torture porn.
Oh,
like
it is.
I'm just not into that.
Which
again,
Terrifier
varying levels of
sort of but Terrifier is more like Evil Dead because it's just over the top.
Right.
But so maybe it's because I'm desensitized, but I really remember like the skin just kind of going blah, 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 and it doesn't. And me and Lisa are watching going, so she knows, and it's not really coming off. There's really no blood in the shaving cream. I thought it was very tame, and I was like, eh. So like, there's really not a lot of scares. There's really very few jump scares, which I kind of appreciate because jump scares are kind of like for ghost movies, or they're the lowest common denominator. Slashers can have one or two. They're
a little
but
cheap.
You got to really use it well.
They're a little cheap.
Yeah.
But I get it. They're part of the genre. Did you see the note that the original prosthetics that were for the leg got frozen in shipping, so they couldn't use them? So that was obviously a makeup job, and they used the shaving cream to hide the fact that it was a makeup job.
I figured the shaving cream was hiding something.
Yeah,
but that's still pretty good.
Yeah,
especially like on the fly. That stuff, like the making of the movie, the physical making of it is really good.
Yeah, a
lot of our issues come from
everything else.
And it's not even maybe the actors' choices because it's like what was written on the screen and what.
They're young actors. They're aside from Ryder Strong, who's probably got a little bit more experience than everyone else. They're
under their belt. Yeah,
they're. I mean, you're out there making a movie. You're making it on the fly, not on the fly, but you're working fast. I know they had a lot of production delays. I think they shut down one day because they had an anthrax scare. This film was shot a month after 9/11. That's when they were shooting the film. So, obviously everything's heightened then. I think they lost money at one point. And then what's his face? Joey Kern, who played Jeff, injured his eye 4 times and went to the hospital 4 times during this film just because of whatever. So it kind of pushed delays back. Like, so they talked about how the sex scene with Marcy and Paul, and I think the shaving scene, I believe, were actually shot in the middle of the night, but it was supposed to be in the day in the script. So, and it was just because of production delays that they just blasted the window with lights to make it look like day outside. But they were shooting those at like in the middle of the night. So I think that's interesting. But that just tells you it's just everything's all everything kept changing, schedules kept changing. You do what you do. Let's see. I had another review for you. Ebert equated the characters to, quote, kids on those arcade games where the target lights up and you have to stomp on it. What kids? What game is that?
Whack-a-mole?
So
those aren't kids. That's a mole.
Ebert liked this movie. I don't think Ebert liked the kids or the characters, much like we said. And then Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly said, Cabin Fever is what 28 Days Later would have looked like had it been made without style, subtlety, grunge of night video photography, or fashionable apocalyptic pretensions.
I think you're doing 28 Days Later a disservice there. 28 Days Later is fantastic.
Well, I think he thinks it's that fantastic and he's taking a shot at this while praising that.
I mean, I guess, they might have come out close together, so that's why he's comparing the two.
But here's the other thing too, like as a critic, and you have to know, I get it. It's a movie and you have to judge each movie equally.
28 Days Later had a big budget in this.
And has an accomplished director who's already done stuff. So you have to, doesn't that, I granted this is a quote from his entire piece. Maybe he has that in the piece that, hey, Eli Roth's a student filmmaker, or indie filmmaker at the time. He's just fairly new.
Yeah.
So, it is kind of like, come on, no one. But whatever. I'm not, we know how I feel about critics.
It's not the filmmaking aspect that's bad here.
Yeah.
Talk about the fact that they use the R word, the N word.
Oh, I know.
That's everything gay. And
so, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Did you laugh when he used the N word, though?
At the end, I did.
Well, I didn't hear it at the end. I missed it.
Oh, so at the end, they're back in town and they're playing.
Yes. I know
lemonade, and the black people come into the shop, and he goes, the guy goes, my N-words, and he hands them the gun.
Okay.
And they high five him. And I was like, that's why he uses it. And I was like, all right, that's kind of funny.
Okay.
It's still,
and they're all gonna die anyways.
Widely inappropriate nowadays. But I was like, all right, it came back. At least it came back around, because you listen to it and you're just like, all right, I get it. They're rednecks, but come on.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, all right. That makes sense. I missed that. I don't know why I missed that. How did I miss that? I must have,
because the music's starting to play kind of loud, so it's kind of like drowning out the vocals.
I could have been falling asleep too. That's always a possibility.
This movie, so you can't fall asleep. It's so bad you got to keep watching.
It's always a possibility if I fall asleep. That's always on the table. Me passing out. So obviously we're somewhat down on this film. I would say we are down on this film. Would you recommend this to people?
No.
Oh,
well.
You kind of
knowing that it's 1.5 million. It's one of those films where I'd be like, watch it. The production value is really good. Look what this guy did with very little money. It's not like 1.5 million. Not anybody can go out and shoot for 1.5 million even today. That's a lot of money. But for a film, that's not a lot of money. And the fact that he was able to do stuff, even with all the production delays, even with problems, that's really impressive. And not just that he did it, but it looks really good. It looks like it's got a $10 million budget, at least. It looks like it holds up with all the other horror films, I think, in terms of its visual style and fidelity.
And he accomplishes vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that case, I would say, yeah, look at it for that. But then I would say, look at Evil Dead. If I was trying to do that, I would go look at Evil Dead, because that did it with even less money. Obviously, the first one was done by like dentists funded that movie. It's amazing what they did with that. Brain Dead, which we'll talk about, or Evil Dead, or Dead Alive rather. We'll talk about, like he did that for very little money as well in New Zealand, where there wasn't really a lot of big productions going on in New Zealand at the time. Like that's really impressive. Like I would recommend those over this.
You can
Evil Dead 2.
Knock those movies. Like people can knock that movie, Dead Alive, this movie. They can. I'm sure even though you love Evil Dead, the people will knock Evil Dead. You can knock all that for all the stuff that we're talking about, character and stuff like that, but you absolutely cannot knock it for the fact that they did this with what money they had, and they were able to accomplish and tell their story.
Yeah. It's something I always say, like when we do crap on movies, it's like, I don't think I could do better. Or I would hope I could, but I'm not saying I could. Like that is impressive. Anybody watching this can't just be like, I'm going to shoot my thing. And it's like,
making a movie is very, very hard. Making a good movie,
even getting it off the ground is very hard.
Yeah.
And then once you get
not
going,
as easy as, you think it's easy. Yeah, just pick up a camera, shoot, but it's not.
Yeah. That's what everyone will say in an interview. You got all the advantages there. Just pick up and shoot. Go ahead. Go pick up and shoot.
Exactly.
How does your movie look? How does it sound? How's it lit?
Not even that. Get people there that you need to get there on the time you want to do it.
Yeah.
Get a location. And
try to get 5 people together to shoot with you.
Right.
Good luck.
Exactly.
Outside of LA or New York.
Exactly. You would need like a group of dedicated people that want to build. It's not just picking up and shooting. It's actually a movement and making people believe in your vision, like in rallying people.
Yeah, that's
because you're not paying them. You're not for an indie. You're not. These people that worked on this film are paid. If they're paid, they're probably paid very little.
Yeah, Ryder Strong probably got the most money, and it was probably probably wasn't even that much.
They all probably got paid scale, or because I don't know back then, because this is what 20 years ago. No, this isn't 20 years ago. This is
2003.
Well, it's just 20 years ago.
22 years ago.
I don't know if it's this back then, but there were like SAG exemptions where they would agree to take.
They take a cut. Yeah.
So that could be too, but still, no one's getting paid a lot of money for this film. All right, so then why is it forgotten? And because here's the thing, like I know why we're gonna say like, oh, we don't like it, blah, 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 but it had a sequel, it had a prequel, it had a remake. So why are we saying that this is forgotten then?
I think the remake kind of came and went. I think Eli Roth is synonymous with Hostel. I think when you think Eli Roth, you think Hostel now.
That kind of like announced him to everybody.
It began the torture porn movement.
Did it? I think Saw did.
I saw kind of. Saw 1 is not a torture porn movie.
It's not, but that's kind of where the genesis
kind of became it. But that was more like inventive.
Sure.
But Hostel is just let's take some people, kidnap them, put them in a room, and just hacksaw them. Yeah. It's not like inventive kills like Saw is like trap that explodes your brain or you're jumping into a vat of needles. Hostel is just I'm going to saw your fingers off. We're going to have a scene where we rip your fingernails off, and we're going to show all this, and it's going to be very realistic looking. And I think that became something that Eli Roth became synonymous with. And I think Cabin Fever kind of had this hype because it was released early and everyone was like, oh, Cabin Fever, Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World had just ended. And this was Sean from Boy Meets World kind of doing something really edgy. There's a scene where he says the F word 5 times in one paragraph. I'm like, ooh, Sean doubling down on the F word, tripling down on the quintupling down on the F word. So I think that it had this hype, and then people watched it and went, oh, okay. Because you've seen it all before. Yeah. It's Shining. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's Evil Dead. It's the episode Darkness Falls from the X-Files, which I love that episode, but that's what this is. It's a lot of stuff you've seen before, it delivered to you in a way that it's all very much on its sleeve in terms of the references and done in a way that's kind of amateur. And you can appreciate it now for when you learn about the budget and stuff like that. But back then it's just kind of like, been there, done that, and it kind of goes away. I would be interested to watch the remake to see what Eli Roth thinks he did wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he directed it. He didn't direct it.
Oh, I thought he did.
No. He produced it.
Then I really.
It was done by Travis Zerini, but it's from the same script. So it's exact same script. It's just a different director.
That's like the script is where you have the problems. But I think that's why it kind of falls on the wayside. And I think that Cabin movies, Evil Dead still survives to this day. Jason and the Friday the 13th films still survive to this day. It's just not your first on your list.
I agreed. I think, agreed. And also, you think that because it came out in a time when, like, because now horror's big. But back then, it really wasn't. Horror wasn't huge.
Which we talked about in our Cursed episode, that was about the time when horror kind of took a dip and was kind of like hibernating for a little while.
I mean, like, we're really into it right now, but it's all elevated. And I think there's going to be an ebb to that flow soon. I think it's going to because here's the thing, while there's so much horror, there's no rom-coms. There's no rom-coms anymore. Yeah. Rom-coms ruled the 90s. Yeah. And they are gone. And I like rom-coms, so bring them back. But anyways, and I don't know. I'm going off tangent here. Awesome. Where can they find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, all over YouTube. You're watching, listening to us right now. Rate, subscribe. Tell us what your favorite cabin horror movie is and why is it Evil Dead? I'm a huge Evil Dead fan, as everyone already knows who watches this. Check out our Conjuring series. We did it in August, September. Our lead-up series leading into Conjuring Last Rites. But that's kind of like a pre-Halloween thing we did. So if you're getting spooky right now, we got spooky last month.
Yeah, but you're listening to this in October. Obviously, we are in the middle of our Tron series. We're doing Tron, Tron Ares. Yep.
So check out that if you're really into horror. Check out the Tron series. If you want to go on Patreon, we have our Look Back series. We did a bunch in the summertime. I don't know what we've released or are releasing around now. So like I said, we had look backs, we have merch discounts, we have stickers, we've got all that kind of good stuff. Check out the merch store while you're there. I don't have them in yet because, like I said, this is early September when we're filming this, but we got Forgotten Horror shirts on the store. Fields has put on some Forgotten Horrors like he has. You've seen on the show before his protagonist, antagonist, MacGuffin shirts. Now we have a bunch of horror themed ones for those as well. So the store is chock full of Halloween goodness for your pleasure. Go check all that stuff out. And
Forgotten Horror rolls on. We're going to be going to 1985 next week. We're going to be watching the Tobe Hooper Life Force. This will be interesting.
I saw the trailer. I'm very intrigued. I had seen the image of some of the people that were I don't know if they got their life force sucked out of them. I assume. Yeah. But I've seen that goes around the internet a lot, and I've always wondered what movie that's from. So I'm very interested in at least the effect.
80s sci-fi horror. Yeah, I've heard good things.
Oh, you've never seen this one either?
No. I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. So
the practical effects look cool. So at least we got that.
I don't know.
And I always appreciate some 80s cheese.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what intrigues me most about it is just the 40-year-old movie going back and just kind of like seeing it. Like that to me intrigues me more than like when we're watching this film, Cabin Fever, because it's just like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I'm also very intrigued when we look at the notes and stuff to see if this movie inspired Species.
Oh,
because the plot seems very similar to Species.
Man, Species 3 was on the other, or Species 3 was on the other day, and she's in it.
Natasha Henstridge.
Yeah, in the beginning, they kill her off in the beginning.
Oh, I did read
because she gives
that.
birth.
Yeah. I went down a Species rabbit hole a couple months ago. I don't remember why. I think I connected to a Forgotten Cinema we watched, and I was like, I've only seen the first one and parts of the second one, and I watched the trailers for the rest of the series. I'm like, how many?
They're like, I think they became sci-fi films. I think they were like sci-fi movies.
They did. They just kind of went straight to DVD and TV.
Yeah. Oof. Man, I mean, that's a lead up.
No, thank you.
Exactly. All right. So that's next week, Life Force. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of Forgotten Horror. Like Mike said, reach out, talk to us. You know, we like movies. We love talking about movies. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Horror 7. The Nightmare is Real.
Keep it spooky, y'all.
Can't you just not do it one episode?
No.
Just not do it?
No, it's in my contract. I have to.
There are no contracts.